Hey everyone, welcome to this week's weekly Geekly podcast. I am your host, Caretaker, and I am joined by a good friend of mine named Burly Badger. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so to start off, we recorded an episode last week, but I guess it was a software issue or some weird thing happened where the entire recording sounded like piss, pretty much. It's like
It would just cut into like slow-mo audio. Everything would just go really deep and warped for no reason, and we were both pretty pissed off about it.
yeah, it was like the Doctor Strange show. Everything was just like warping around and messing with your mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's start the show with currently it is August 2nd, and we are mere days away from Suicide Squad. I am excited.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited as a dog in heat.
It's kind of weird. I think cats get more excited, honestly. But yeah, that works.
Yeah, do dogs get in heat? I don't know.
They hump stuff. That works. It works.
Anyway, yeah, so we'll be watching that movie. I'm pretty sure many of you will be watching the movie. Yeah, so we'll probably record our thoughts about it after we get done seeing it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because
possibly right after, because that is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I was more excited for this movie than any other movie coming out this year, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah. So last week, the stuff we recorded, we talked about most of the trailers and a couple other things that came out with Comic-Con, because Comic-Con was last week. It was pretty exciting from what I saw. So yeah, we got a Wonder Woman trailer, which looks really, really well done. I give the people involved with that movie 2 thumbs way up.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good, like the best description I can give for it is the 300, but instead of 300 Spartans, you have one chick with the strength of 300 Spartans.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it look every time they like cut to slow mo, I just have like a 300 flashback, and I'm like,
it could have been done really well. Well, it was done pretty well in 300, but this makes it look like they did it like at 8. This goes to 15.
Yeah,
kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
Especially that ending song that they have, like when it's showing the actual logo. That's just like you gotta love that sick guitar riff.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I could listen to that all day. I want to hear like the full version of whatever that's cut from. I hope there's a full version that's cut from.
It's actually in the Batman vs Superman soundtrack. Like whenever she's actually introduced to, and she like shows up and has the shield up, and Doomsday's firing his Doom laser at her.
We need to watch the director's cut of that, by the way.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that myself.
I've heard it's a lot better than the original cut, but we'll have to see it for ourselves and give our opinion on here.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the people who did that mix or did that song for her are the same people who did. They had a song. They did a mix with Hans Zimmer in The Dark Knight Rises.
Could be right.
Yes, because I remember seeing that on my soundtrack that I bought.
You're much more of a music person than I am, so I'll have to take your word for it.
Oh yeah, I was hoping for to get Alan Silvestri for Spider-Man: Homecoming, but we got Thomas Newman, who's done work with Pixar on like multiple films. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue on with the trailers from Comic-Con with the Justice League. Now, congrats to the person who put this together and made it actually seem a lot more fun.
Yeah.
That music, it was really well timed. I felt the Flash and Batman, or Flash and Bruce Wayne scene went on a little too long. It felt like
It's just a trailer. It's just a trailer.
Yeah.
But I like it. It was. I believe they left it as much of that in as they did to point out that look, everything that we come out with isn't going to be as dark and gritty and just like
depressing. My parents are dead.
Yeah, my parents are dead. Crap that they had going on with Batman v Superman, which I don't mind a dark story, but I mean you have to be able to throw a joke out there once in a while.
Yeah, you can't be all dark and depressing. I mean, come on.
Constantly. Bruce. Jesus.
Brooding the movie.
I will say, before seeing the trailer, I was the most excited for Cyborg, and after the trailer, I'm like, oh great, I'm worried that Cyborg is gonna feel like Green Lantern.
I mean, I'm more or less just disappointed with the way his costume or his outfit, or not his outfit, but his overall design of his character looks. I mean, his head looks fine. I'm okay with his head, but it doesn't look right. Maybe they can do something with it for his movie. I don't know.
Now I'm the most excited for the Flash and Aquaman and Wonder Woman, all three tied.
Yeah, Ezra Miller,
and that's coming from someone who loved Batfleck.
Oh yeah, same here. From whenever Ben Affleck was announced as the new Batman, I immediately said, "That's perfect. I am 100% behind that cast."
Yeah.
Like, I knew he would do that movie justice, and
I was like, he can't afford to shit on another superhero. Then again, that was probably the director's fault for Daredevil.
There's a lot of issues with Daredevil. I mean, it was too dark and too. Well, I mean, Daredevil's story is pretty dark, though.
It would bounce around from silly to dark.
It's like
and it in no particular order, and it seemed like it didn't realize it was doing it at the time. That was the real problem.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, it felt weird at times.
It just had a bad flow, all in all.
Yeah, it did. It's like, that's not that light at the end of the tunnel. It's not heaven. It's the sea train. Oh wow, Daredevil gets really fucking grisly with his murders. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Cut the guy in three.
I'll take my Dark Devil from Netflix, thanks.
Dark Devil?
Yeah, Dark Daredevil.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, we got Luke Cage. Oh, yeah, Luke Cage. They had a trailer for Luke Cage. Well, it's not trailer, but like a teaser trailer for Luke Cage.
They had a teaser for Luke Cage, freaking
Iron Fist. A slight little tug at Defenders.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely doing Defenders.
Well, no, but there was a slight little thing for Defenders. Just like they had everyone in there talking about it and being awesome about it.
They just had like batches of trailers for all the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
Did they ever show Ghost Rider, or was he just mentioned in like an interview or something?
No.
No. That's Agents of Shield. Never mind.
I wish we can get a.
I hope he goes to Netflix. I hope he goes to Netflix so bad.
I hope we get a. God, if only we could get
Rescue Agents of Shield too while you're at it, Netflix, because it's.
Well, it'd be awesome if we got like, Daredevil, or not Daredevil. If we got Blade and Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. I've been hearing a lot of positive thoughts about maybe even Moon Knight coming to Netflix.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it would be pretty awesome to have all those different characters in there. And let's see, what else was there that was. Oh yeah, Luke Cage to me was the main I wouldn't say he was the highlight of what was it, the Jessica Jones series. He was one of the main things I liked about that show. I like David Tennant from that show as well. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, David Tennant was great. He was super creepy and just terrifying. The way they did Purple Man was pretty great for the Netflix.
Especially for
series.
I think he's like a C-list or B-list villain for.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he had a pretty good. There was a good episode involving him in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon that came out a few years back.
It's one of those heroes that you see and you're like, how is he not more popular than he is? Especially whenever they show him on there. It's like you see Deadpool fighting freaking Francis and what's her name, and you're like, okay, obviously, like, D-listers, no one cares still, but it was fun to have Deadpool stab somebody to death.
Right.
And yeah, it was pretty good.
Speaking of Deadpool, I mentioned this a while back to you and a couple other friends of ours, that they should, like, for the Blu-ray release of Deadpool 2, wherever the sequel is going to be called, they should release like test footage of Keira Knightley doing cable recordings.
Yes. If they don't just outright cast her.
She's got great range.
Yes.
Anyway, let's continue on with the Marvel news. We got the Doctor Strange trailer last week. We've had a Doctor Strange trailer for a while, but this was a new trailer we got, which showed more special effects of like Inception meets what? Kind of almost feels like Tron in some ways, mostly because of the music.
Yeah, the trailer music for the newest trailer sounds very Tron.
Tron Legacy.
Tron Legacy, yeah, Tron Legacy, which was honestly I did really enjoy Tron Legacy, but the best part about it, hands down, was the soundtrack
and the Daft Punk cameo in the midway through the movie.
Yeah, it was neat.
that was kind of cool.
I'm still hung up on the just the soundtrack period though.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was so good. Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah, but I'm definitely liking the effects or the special effects for Doctor Strange. That looks really cool. Let's hope it's not the main focus of it, because cake with mostly frosting and a little bit of actual batter is not a great cake.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to have any batter in a cake. It's supposed to be cake.
Well, I'm just trying to give a good analogy, sir.
Well, try harder. But yeah, I'm really worried. I'm really excited for Doctor Strange, but the more trailers I see, the more I'm worried that all their focus is going to be on special effects, like you said. Like, I don't want... I just don't want it to be bad, and them to be like, quick, dump money into it until it's good.
I'm trying to think of a couple of movies that happen like that. I don't know, is there any other movies that just kind of like that?
Probably a lot of movies. Like, this is still bad. Keep throwing money at it until it stops being bad.
Ghostbusters 2016.
You haven't even seen it. Be quiet. You refuse to see it with me. Yeah. Don't even talk about it. You have no opinion on it because you can't develop an opinion on it.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, we got a Suicide Squad apparently confirmed sequel, which honestly is not the biggest shock to me. Yeah, I mean, I figured if it was good enough, it would probably warrant a sequel. Which I haven't read any of the Suicide Squad comics at all, but I do know a little bit about it. I think they had a little bit of it in the Justice League Unlimited and series. I think they did a little something with it.
Yeah. I never watched much of the Justice League Unlimited series, but I'm pretty excited for the movie. I won't say I've been a Suicide Squad fan because I honestly didn't know about them, but for a while, till very recently, like I've only known about their existence for like 3 or 4 years maybe, like since the animated DC movie with Suicide Squad and it came out.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of that is. I don't think it's Suicide Squad.
I don't either. Assault on Arkham, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's Assault on Arkham.
I think that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's still available on Netflix, but...
Either way, that was fantastic, and that had me excited for the live-action movie as soon as I found out that was going to be a thing. And if the new movie, or if the movie is going to be as good as it looks, it's going to deserve a sequel for sure.
True, very true. Let's see. Let's jump over to the other side of the, comic spectrum, to Marvel, which we got another casting news for Spider-Man: Homecoming. Tyrone Woodley, and he's apparently a UFC fighter, so he's apparently being casted as far as I know, rumor has it, from what I've heard, he's being cast as one of the enforcers for Spider-Man: Homecoming, which will be pretty cool, because it'd be cool to see them as like slightly reoccurring characters.
Oh yeah.
Because the enforcers did show up every at least 10 comics.
Yeah.
For the early run of Spider-Man, you had Fancy Dan, Montana, and Ox, and I believe there was a fourth guy, but I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I never knew. I don't care about any of that. I just want Scorpion. Just give me Scorpion in a movie. Hurry up and give me Scorpion.
Scorpion or a badass Kraven storyline.
Kraven could be neat. I just want Scorpion more than anything.
And then 6 movies later, we get the Spider-Man multiverse movie.
How would they do Kraven? Do you think they would try to like go like a dark route where he's like this weird serial killer guy who's like, humans are the ultimate prey, superhumans are the ultimate prey. I'ma stab Spider-Man.
I don't know. I mean, Craven's excuse me, Craven's line is actually pretty dark at times. I mean, Craven's Last Hunt is really, really heavy.
I mean, even he was a little dark even in the animated series. It was surprising, like how just dead set on just murdering Spider-Man he was.
Yeah, I wish that series held up more nowadays, but the dialogue at times is kind of stiff.
I tried to rewatch it.
Yeah, I did too.
I didn't tell you about that, but I tried to rewatch it.
I tried to
rewatch.
rewatch.
Like, I can't watch this.
I tried to rewatch the X-Men 90s series, and that was just...
I can actually rewatch that.
Really?
Because I know how corny, especially Wolverine can be. But I wasn't expecting it from, like, everybody in the Spider-Man series. And I'm like, oh, no. No. Why did I watch this? It should have been a memory. It should have just been a memory.
It will never be a memory.
Yeah. Now the memory is tainted. There is memory, but it's just it feels diluted and
it's chain of memories now.
No.
I mean, I will say this about the Amazing Spider, or not the Amazing Spider, but the Spider-Man 90s series. It introduced me to Captain America, which started my love for that character. Like, thanks to that show, I like that character so much that I don't even call him Captain America when I refer to him. I call him Steve. Yeah.
Or Captain America.
Yeah, voice actor for Captain America in that show was just really, really odd.
Oh, it was terrible.
It made Black Cat just really cool too for me. Like that was my introduction to Spider-Man. I didn't even know who Spider-Man was when I first started watching that series, and then afterwards I was like, okay, I'm gonna read up more about this character because it seems awesome. Like, it introduced to me Madam Web. I found out who Blade was. I found who Kraven was. Morbius. Like, I found out more about the extended DC universe through this series than I did with a lot of other things. And it'd be funny if they'd like plugged in like Moon Knight or something like that at some point.
Yeah, almost everything I learned about Marvel whenever I was like 7, 8 in that area.
This came out before we were 10, so yeah.
I would say all of that came from Spider-Man and X-Men animated series. Same thing goes for Batman the animated series. Pretty much everything I know about the DC universe I learned from the Batman animated series.
Which is not a bad thing to learn from, though.
It is not.
You get legendary voice work.
And you get
great animation.
Or the actual start of Harley Quinn on it, too.
Oh, yeah.
She was not a character until the animated
literal
series.
Birthplace of that character.
Yep.
Like, you see,
Batman animated series. Bam.
I can't remember what the Margot Robbie, I think, the voice actress was for Harley Quinn at that time. But
no, that's the name of the actress who's playing her.
Oh, right. That's who's playing her in the
Suicide
movie.
Squad. Yeah.
I don't remember what the voice actress's name for Harley Quinn was for that series, but she did a damn good job. She reprises her role quite a few times actually recently. Like, I think Tara Strong did her voice in Arkham City. But I know the original voice actress reprised her role for DC Universe Online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like looked it up.
I wish they would have gotten more good voice actors for DC Universe Online because, like, the big characters have pretty good voice actors. Everybody else is terrible. Like, you talk to Robin, he's like 4 foot nothing, and he just sounds like an adult male.
Sound like he's 30 or 35.
Cyborg is the most white bread sounding son of a bitch you've ever heard, and it's like, what? Who is this?
Is this supposed to be Cyborg? No, that doesn't sound like Cyborg at all. Where's the booyah?
No. Well, okay, maybe a booyah, but only because of Teen Titans. Not Teen Titans Go.
Hopefully, maybe we'll hear a booyah from Cyborg in any of the movies.
God, I hope we hear at least one at some point from Cyborg.
And it doesn't sound forced.
And it doesn't sound forced. Like maybe have him say it, or like they do like a flashback of when he was or I think his name is Victor Stone. Have him do like a flashback of whenever he was a football player, and then him being like booyah, and then them cutting back to him just like blasting someone with a pulse cannon that his arm morphed into, and just be like booyah.
Getting gruesome with those flashbacks. It has like a PTSD almost kind of thing.
I don't know. It's just not like, I'm not saying like it goes from that to like him blasting someone's head off. I'm just saying like at some point in the movie, like the football flashback and him being like, booyah, I'm a happy high schooler. And then him being like, I'm war hardened now. Booyah.
Yeah,
you don't have a head.
This is DC. We blow shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so jumping over to a different spectrum of the comic book world again, apparently Amazon is releasing or producing, doing a lot of things with a new Tick series. I like the Tick from when I was a childhood. I actually got to meet a couple of the voice actors for that show. Like,
that's cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, a few months ago when I was up in Indianapolis for Indiana Comic Con, the voice actor, well, the same voice actors who worked on the original Ninja Turtles series,
mm-hmm.
The guy who did the voice of Leonardo also did the voice for Tick.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was kind of a shock for me too. Whenever I was sitting in the audience listening to him, like, holy shit, that's awesome. Like I got to sit in on a script reading for Star Wars episode for A New Hope. Like it was a Twisted Tunes kind of thing. If you want to look him up, look up Jeff Zanini, and it's actually really funny to listen to if you like hearing all these your old comic book movie and cartoon series characters like do dialogue for stuff that you really like.
Did you ever watch the live action series that they did on Fox? Because I never watched it, but I heard nothing but bad things.
It felt weird. It really did. I mean, it was
probably was weird. It was the Tick. The Tick cartoon was weird. How could the live action not be weird? It literally. It can't not be weird.
Okay, weird is maybe a bad term to use,
but...
No,
it's not. It's the Tick. It's the perfect word to use for it.
Well, the live-action show, it just...
Corny?
Well, so was the Tick, though.
Yeah, but it
just didn't translate well to live-action like that. I don't know why. Maybe it was the director or producer. I don't know.
Maybe it felt like it was unintentionally corny with the... I don't know. I haven't watched any of the live action. But whenever you're watching the cartoon, it's like, okay, they're intentionally making fun of how corny regular superhero cartoons are. And that was part of the charm in it. And you just have this, like, stupid man-child, the Tick, who definitely has many mental issues. But he's just insanely powerful. And it's great.
Yeah. Let's see, I'm a fan of the creepypasta that talks about the Tick being just one child's big imagination, which is kind of interesting. Like,
I haven't heard that.
I can't remember what the woman's name was. Liberty Maid, I think is what her name was his mother, because he sees his mom as a strong, powerful woman, and his dad was Chair Chippendale, I think.
I don't remember Chair Chippendale.
He's one of the main villains of the show. Like, he has a chair for literally a head.
Oh yeah,
He's got like a casual suit on on as well.
Does he have a? Am I making things up, or did he have a cape too?
No, it's just like a suit, just a
business suit with like the back two legs of a chair hanging out of the neck.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And I think the top of the chair like would change his positions depending on if he was happy or sad.
Like the top angry. Of the chair was like his eyebrows.
Something like that, yeah, like the arc of a regular wooden chair. It was pretty much just like a regular wooden chair with like an arc that had like two bars going down the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there was Mortimer Mouse or something like that. Mortimer Mouse, Arthur's character, which was something to do with a moth. I don't remember what his actual superhero name was. Unless it was just Arthur.
You got called Arthur more than anything. So we'll just go with Arthur. Tick always just called him Arthur, no matter what. Like even though he was so dedicated to like the superhero role, he's just like always like Arthur. Props to Arthur being a badass, though, for being able to carry the Tick's massive muscular ass, though.
Right? That's at least, that's from judging from how tall the Tick was and how muscular he looked, he was probably a good 400 pounds or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something insane, like 400-pound block of muscle.
Judging from memory, I think the Tick was like 6'5" or 6'6".
Oh, he was huge. They didn't really have anything good to scale the show with that I can think of off the top of my head. But
the animation wasn't too bad, though.
We'll just go with he was a really big guy with unrealistically big noses.
Oh, totally.
Crazy.
I remember there was one episode where he was going to a superhero bar. Like, there was two separate bars. There was one for superheroes and one for supervillains.
Yeah.
And then there's another one for sidekicks that Arthur went to, and there's like a really dive bar. It looked like shit, and then it was like the kiddie pool versus like the actual big, Olympic size pool.
Yeah.
Tick actually had to fight. Another guy named the Tick, and he has like a big red shield. And he's like, I am the Tick, and he's like, I will not admit to that. That was a funny show at times. And then Supervillain Bar, I don't remember much about it.
I just remember the sidekick bar just being a dump. Like, nobody cared about it. You're a sidekick, whatever. You're beneath everyone. Fuck you. You get, like, a shitty little dive that you're probably going to get. That, if it wasn't for sidekicks only, you'd be pretty sure you're just going to get shanked in.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I mean, there are good sidekicks, though. I mean, there's Robin who becomes Nightwing, and then there's like...
Yeah, but Dick wasn't truly awesome until he became Nightwing, in my opinion. I mean, he was great, and then whenever he was finally like, you know what? Screw you, Batman. I'm Nightwing now.
Literally quoted for saying, the game's over, Batman. I quit. And throws his mask down and jumps off into the night. It's like, I never put on that cape or that suit again. And I became more badass.
Yep.
That's a quote from the Batman animated series. Not from the greatest season for Batman. That's the season where the designs started looking really weird. Like Batman's jaw was a box.
Joker's black eyes.
With a white dot.
Yeah, I hated that so much. That's the only thing that really bothered me was the Joker's redesign. I was like, I don't know why they had to redesign Joker and give him black eyes with a white dot, but I don't like it.
Harley Quinn practically stayed the same, but almost everybody else looked different. Killer Croc looked really... He had like completely green skin that looked almost like... Well, I mean, he looked more like a crocodile, but he looked completely redesigned from his original one where he had like gray skin originally.
Yeah, he was just gray skin with maybe a couple of scales and some like bumpy spikes on his head and neck and back.
Although that season did get noticeably more grim, because there was a character named the Judge who would literally go out and kill.
The Judge.
He would literally come after villains and actually try to kill them with like a gigantic fucking sword.
I remember that.
Of course, I had the infamous Red Sky background. I think that's what people mostly refer to that season as, the Red Sky.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
Honestly, I didn't watch a whole lot of it after they redesigned Joker, not because of like me just getting bored with Batman, but I just got more interested in other things like...
You were kids.
Like boobs and stuff. I don't know.
What do kids like nowadays?
Boobs.
I was starting to get into the anime scene at the time, and like Dragon Ball Z was just starting to air in America at that time for me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this because there's like badass fight scenes and screaming, 140 decibel levels. That's like the first episode of Dragon Ball Z I ever saw was an episode where Gohan was on top of Piccolo left Gohan on top of a mountain. No, Gohan teleported onto the top of a mountain through some weird reason. It's been a while since I've seen the early season. But yeah, Gohan just like sitting on top of this gigantic phallic-shaped mountain, looking at a bunch of dinosaurs like running across the plains, and Goku's still on his way to King Kai's.
First episode I saw was on UPN, like
Same.
Early in the morning, and it
Like 11.
was actually the first episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Like literally Raditz shows up and everything?
Yeah, Raditz showing up and all that, and I'm like, I've never seen a cartoon like this. I need to keep watching this. And then I kept watching it, and it was fantastic.
And that's how...
And then UPN, like, went down the shitter, and I'm like, but there's more, and I need to...
Like, they literally leave off saying, will Goku get to his friends in time to save him from the Ginyu Force? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I don't remember it getting that far, but I remember it getting far enough where... I remember it getting to the Goku versus Vegeta fight. I don't remember being able to watch any of it past that. This was like whenever I was 7 or 8, I believe. Yeah. And I was like, this show's incredible. I need to watch more of it. And then UPN was such a crappy channel in our town that if you had cable, you didn't get UPN because it was like, you don't want that. You're paying money to not get that.
My first reaction to Dragon Ball Z was like, I was just kind of thumbing through channels because it was like still early in the morning, and then Nickelodeon was... Cartoon Network wasn't a thing yet, and I was just kind of flipping through Nickelodeon was still showing live action stuff. So I was just kind of flipping through channels, and I stopped on that. I was like, oh, cartoons on Sunday. Okay. And I just kept going and went back to playing Doom 2, and I ended up, after about 5 minutes or so, I ended up being more interested in what was on TV than Doom 2.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot, and then that just kind of spawned our love for Dragon Ball Z. Well, love for anime in general, actually.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z. The first anime I ever watched was definitely Speed Racer on MTV whenever I was like 4 or 5. And my sister was like brutally addicted to MTV because she was in that generation.
I'll say, yeah, part of that generation.
And she grew to hate it like in her teens because they were like, music? No. Here, have another season of Real World, you idiot. Because you're going to make reality TV big.
Yeah.
Yay. Reality TV.
Yeah. But the best thing about those reality TVs whenever they brought back Beavis and Butthead, and Beavis and Butthead commented on it.
Oh, God. That was so good.
That was hilarious.
That was literally the best part about Beavis and Butthead, and I bought the Mike Judge collection of Beavis and Butthead, and I was brutally disappointed when they didn't have any of the commentary for the music videos on it. And I was like, well, that kind of makes sense because they'd have to pay for the rights to have all those music videos in the DVD collection.
Yeah.
But you'd think MTV would pull a string or two just so they could do that. Since, MTV already has to have some kind of rights to be able to air them on TV all the time. And, I don't know. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead was great, but the best part was them making fun of music videos. Even music videos that you loved, they'd make fun of them, and you'd love it. And they didn't ruin music videos for you. Well, they ruined 1 or 2 for me, but they were already kind of dumb. But every time you'd see that music video, you'd remember what Beavis and Butthead had to say about it, and you'd laugh. It was great. We're burning a lot of time though. We should probably start talking about The Killing Joke.
Oh shit! That movie came out literally a week ago. For digital download only. Soon, I think another week or so, we should be getting physical copies like Blu-ray and DVD and all that good stuff. But I went ahead and bought it early because I love that comic.
Yeah.
Which saddens me to say that the first 28 minutes of this movie are completely skippable to me.
All right. Well, slight spoilers.
Yeah, definitely spoilers ahead.
Yeah, spoilers. If you haven't watched The Killing Joke, just pause this and go watch it right now.
Is it worth $20? Yeah, it's worth $20. The original comic I bought for about $20, and this has more in it. even the parts where it actually goes into the actual graphic novel itself, it adds more to that as well.
Yeah.
Like there's a few parts that were not definitely clearly not in the book. But yeah, so
But they had to add something, because if they hadn't added in the part with, or all like the first like 20 or so minutes with Batgirl, then it would have just been like
over and done.
Yeah, it would have been
Really
like,
quick.
oh, okay, we can just air this on TV because this is like 36, 40 minutes long, whatever. Yeah, this is like a TV show episode, or this is like a Batman animated series episode, but really, really dark.
Really dark. I mean, the graphic novel itself is really dark too. So.
Oh yeah, but if it weren't for, again with the spoilers, if it weren't for the first like 20 minutes of that movie, not only would it have been too short, but a lot of people don't know enough about Batgirl, or have like, because they leave Batgirl out of everything. Like, it's always Robin first, and then maybe Batgirl at some point, possibly. But they wanted you to get like kind of an attachment to Batgirl and what she has to go through, and
it wasn't a good
didn't
attempt.
Work for me.
They could have done a better story for Batgirl in this part, instead of making her just like love obsessed for Batman.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You find out that she's in love with Batman.
Like, I don't know if it's love or lust.
Yes.
It's hard to tell.
Yes, the answer to that question is yes.
So much so that.
Well, let's not get too spoilery.
Yeah. You think we should hold off on it?
Yeah, you just go watch it. Trust us, it's good.
It was a good after the 28 minutes. If you don't really, after the 28-minute mark, it's where it picks up really good. That's where it actually picks up the actual graphic novel. Like 28, 20 something. I'm not sure. I didn't accurately time it down to the second.
Once it burns through like the all about Batgirl half, it gets really good really quick.
Yeah. The only thing I was disappointed with for that second half, the animation gets choppy at times. It felt it kind of just jarred me a little bit.
Yeah,
the design of the Joker did not, for me, translate really well from the graphic novel to this. Like a redesign for the Joker for this probably would have been a better idea.
The scene where he became the Joker is just like the image of the comic
literally
page.
It's almost like a motion comic.
Yeah, it was beautiful. But like for the most part, the animation would go back and forth. For some reason, I thought it was really good in some parts and really bad in some parts, even though like nothing really changed in the animation.
Yeah.
Like you said, some parts would be a little choppy. They might have had to have rushed it out though, because deadlines and BS and
that's what I was thinking,
the excuse
too.
they use for everything these days whenever something's not good. It's like, oh well, we had to meet this deadline and people stopped caring and blah. But yeah, it's really good. It's for the most part, it's really well done. If you're not familiar with the Killing Joke story, you need to go watch it, or read the graphic novel, or both.
Yeah, actually, you can almost thumb through the graphic novel while watching The Killing Joke. Actually,
the last half.
Yeah, well, yeah, the last half, obviously, because it's almost
word for word, right?
Yeah, practically word for word. Like the opening is like that. There's a couple of songs that are just like immediately like it's like you're reading the transcript for it.
Yeah, they did a really good job of the translation for it. Aside from the awkward Batgirl bits they threw in the middle, or in the beginning. I mean,
in the beginning, middle. Yeah. She has a little bit to do with the graphic novel.
Yeah, she has a small role in it, but that it was a small role, but it was an important role.
Right.
But all in all, I would say definitely if you've read the novel, go see the Killing Joke, like go rent it or whatever you've got to do, just go see it. And if you haven't, read it and go see it,
because this is the Joker's origins
in your order of choice, because it's fantastic. Yeah, Joker's like.
This Joker's origins were so
beloved origins.
This Joker's origins were so good that the Arkham. What was it was the third
Arkham trilogy.
Yeah, it's like the third Arkham game though. It wasn't Arkham City, Arkham Knight. It was Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins.
Yeah, there was a story element to that game where you can actually play as Joker before it became the Joker, and they actually pretty much redo how.
I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah. It's not Mark Hamill's voice doing this, sadly, for the game.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, and Tara Strong all reprise their roles as their respective characters in this movie, and it's really well done. Mark Hamill, you always you're gonna get like a 10 out of 10 performance from Mark Hamill whenever he does Joker, no matter what.
Who's Tara Strong in Killing Joke?
Barbara Gordon.
Oh, she was Batgirl?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
Barbara Gordon's Batgirl.
Holy shit, we just ruined the whole DC universe. Or Darkseid, we just ruined everything.
Yeah.
No, actually, we'd be more considered Lobo, wouldn't we?
No, Lobo makes everything better. We're like,
God, he needs to be in the movie. That's how you get a good R rating as well as make it fun. That's DC's kind of Deadpool right there.
we're like the pod race scene, or Jar Jar Binks, or both of them. We just ruined everything.
Yeah. Yep. So this has been an episode of the Weekly Geekly podcast. I am your host, Caretaker.
And I'm Burly Badger.
Hopefully we'll see you again next week. Later.
Bye.